So good to be together in this last week of the Omer. Quite amazing. We've been counting for 7 weeks and we are on day 44 of 49 with shavuot just on the horizon on Sunday, coming up Sunday night. We keep walking day by day by day. I've put these words up on the screen. This is from a teaching of Rabbi Menachem Nachum of Chernobyl, known as the Maor Einaim. And I'll give some more context to these words later, but I want to start off with this question and statement that's included in his teaching about standing at Sinai. And he says, Halo chai ani umihu hachayut sheli. Halo habore yitbarach. Halo is a question and a statement at the same time. Translated here as I am alive, but it's actually like, hey, isn't it true that I'm alive? Halo chai ani. And who is this aliveness I am? Isn't that a beautiful question? Wait a second. Am I not alive? And who is this aliveness? Halo habore yitbarach. Is it not the Holy Blessed One? Which is an answer that's not an answer. It's an assertion, a leaning into this wonder. Is it not aliveness itself? And what is that? So I want to begin by singing, and then we're going to explore this a little bit more. Exploring it as a direct experience, not as an abstract theology to believe or not believe, but a way to be in direct relationship with our own miraculous, mysterious vitality. And the vitality, the aliveness of the tree, of the bird sound, of the ants, of the soil itself. Who is this aliveness? I am alive. 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 And who is this aliveness I am? And who is this aliveness I am? And who is this aliveness I am? Is it not the Holy Blessed One? I la 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 lo chai ani. I la 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 chai ani. I la 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 lo chai ani. Chai ani. I la 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 la. Hello, chai ani. Hi, la 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 la. Hello, chai ani. Hi, la 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 la. Hello, chai ani. Chai ani. Umi hu achayut sheli. Umi hu achayut שלי ומי הוא החיות שלי, הלא הבורא יתברך. הלא חי אני, הלא חי אני, הלא חי אני, חי אני, הלא חי אני, הלא חי אני, הלא חי אני, חי אני, ומי הוא החיות שלי, ומי הוא החיות שלי, ומי הוא החיות שלי, הלא הבורא יתברך. הלא חי אני, הלא חי אני, חי חי אני, חי אני, ומי הוא החיות שלי, ומי הוא החיות שלי, ומי הוא החיות שלי, הלא הבורא יתברך. How do you know that you're alive? Check. What does it feel like in this moment to be alive? How do you know in the muscles, in the breath, in the heartbeat? What are the sensations in this body of aliveness? What is the consciousness that feels, that is aware? Can you be curious that this constellation of sensation, awareness of sensation, awareness, aware of awareness, in the moments we're not conscious, not paying attention to breathing, not tuned into aliveness, but just moving through our day with being alive is something we take for granted, something we don't need to pay attention to. How is it different when you turn your awareness to meet it? Maor Einaim, Rabbi Nachum of Chernobyl gives this beautiful question. Who is this chayut, this life force, this aliveness that I am? Can you bring that as a question, not trying to answer it with concept, with ideas, even with words? Can you bring the question, who is this aliveness I am, into relationship with your direct experience, with what is arising in this human form that at this moment is you? As we sit, anytime your mind wanders, come back to the question, who is this aliveness? And don't answer, but return to awareness of your experience. Of sensations arising. Your encounter with awareness. Awareness aware of itself. Alive. Who is this aliveness I am? The Maor brings this teaching in the context of his exploration of the core declaration that the Israelites say at Mount Sinai. In the presence of divine revelation, they say, Na'aseh v'nishma. We will do v'nishma. We will listen or we will understand. He says this is the very essence of Torah. Putting Na'aseh before nishma. Putting a commitment to practice, to action, before our understanding. He says this is the call over and over and over again. To put the na'aseh before the nishma. How do you do that? If you don't know what you're supposed to do, how do you start doing it? If you don't understand, how do you move forward? And he says that there are times when we feel profoundly connected to the divine, whether those are the words that we use or not. We are in intimate relationship with chayut, with life force itself. And there is joy and there is pleasure from that. Sometimes it just arises on its own, unbidden. But then there are also times when this falls away. And when we want to come close again, when we want to drop into this sacred, true awareness of the aliveness, the chayei hachayut, what he says, the life of the living, as a name for God, the life force itself. When we want to come close to it, when we feel the distance from that, from the one, it requires effort. It requires moving ourselves even before we feel the aliveness of it. Acting even before it's clear why or how. But he says there's tremendous holiness in the absence, in the distance. His language for it is feeling that we've fallen from a rung. It's a very Hasidic image of rungs of closeness, madrigot, steps. And when we feel that we were on a certain rung, we knew our aliveness in a certain way, or we felt close to God in a certain way, and then we fall. We encounter horrific things in the world or in our own lives, we face challenge. He says, first of all, know that that's not actually anything other than the spiritual path. That is all inherently part of it. The falling away, the distance is as integral as the movement forward. And he says it's exactly in those moments of feeling distance that we engage na'aseh v'nishma. We put the doing first. So maybe you daven, maybe you pray, maybe you go outside, maybe you sit in meditation practice. Those are all engagements with the doing. But sometimes all of those are incredibly difficult. I can tell how hard it's been for me to sit. My mind is just going and I can't sit still. So he says, in those places where it's even, not only do we feel the distance, but we feel like we can't even activate. He says, at the most basic level, can I say, Halo chayani? Am I not alive? Can I notice in this confused, stormy, heartbroken, angry, whatever it is that is present place? Can I do the slightest na'aseh, slightest action and practice and say, am I not alive? And who is this aliveness I am? In other words, is the divine not right here? Can I simply turn with a question to touch my own experience, to touch the life force itself that is right here and infinitely bigger, that I participate in and is beyond me? If I can do that, and we can do at least that, then there we are at Sinai. Right there is revelation of Torah. I'm alive. I'm alive. I am 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 alive. And who is this aliveness I am? And who is this aliveness I am? And who is this aliveness I am? Is it not the holy blessed one? Aloha ani. Aloha Lo chai ani chai ani umi hu achayut sheli umi hu achayut sheli umi hu achayut sheli Halo abore itbarach amamama ay alalay halo chai ani ay alalay halo chai ani alalay halo chai ani chai ani Umi hu achayut sheli Umi hu achayut sheli Umi hu achayut sheli Halo abore yitbarach Ay alalay halo chai ani Oh ay alalay halo chai ani Ay alalay halo chai ani chai ani Umi hu achayut sheli Umi hu achayut sheli Umi hu achayut sheli Halo abore yitbarach My dear ones, particularly in these days of violence in Israel and Palestine, in the face of the shooting in Russia, children, it may feel very challenging to access the sacred, to trust and lean into it, to know what to do with it. I invite us to keep practicing Halo chai ani umihu hachayut sheli. What is this one life that we are all part of? Intimate in ourselves, strained and demanding response in the world. May we be strengthened to keep dancing back and forth, practicing grounding in the awareness of our own sacred lives. And may it move us with eyes open, with hearts open, exploring our voices, our responsiveness to the moral demands of this moment, to the protection of sacred life. Amen. Amen. I'd like to say a prayer for healing, particularly for those in Russia, particularly for Israelis and for Palestinians, but for all who are suffering from illness in body and spirit, with the words Anna Elna Refanala. Ana Elna, Ana Elna, Ana Elna, Refana Lana Elna, Ana Elna, Ana Elna, Refana Lana Elna, Ana Elna, Ana Elna, Refana La. May all who are ill, who are injured, who are scared, be granted healing and wholeness. Amen.